Well, hello everybody. With flames on the horizon and fire darts to be seen, the CSC Season 4 is here. I am Nick Teixeira, joined by Sean Green and Will Stewart. Our selection show, showing you the top 64 players across both divisions. Let's see who we have for us. What do you say, Sean?
Let's do it, buddy. I can't wait. In both Division 1 and Division 2. As you see Brian Bowling there from Motor City Entertainment getting us started, followed by Jeremiah Berger, also Motor City. Jason Gosnell Jr. from Entertainment Experts. He's a new player for this season. Hunter Van Beek, shout out to him and his beautiful wife. All the best for the loss of their child. We hope for the best for them. It's good to see him in Division 2. Lavelle Sterling is going to be quite the force here in Division 2. TJ Schumacher, Division 2 as well. Brandon Westover, how about that, bud? You get a little bit of your
Loving
Florida.
to see my friend back in here.
Your Florida. He's been helping out darters with more than just playing darts. He's causing all of them to lose weight. I think he needs to get a hold of me because
he's phenomenal. That Fitness Me with Coach B is his little workout program he does. But he's been helping dart players lose weight. But I think he's been kind of waiting for his moment to really make a splash in the CSC. And as someone that has watched him very closely, I know he has the ability to make a big splash in this bracket. But I also think you're right. Lavelle Sterling, a force to be reckoned with for Division 2 this year.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think Lavelle has a chance to go a long way. And if we're talking Division 2 anyway, you have averages that 0.26 is the difference between averages from 32 to 1. That's insane.
It's such a tight field. I mean, it's hard to pick a favorite by statistical advantage because on any given day, these players are shooting about the same here. So it's about who can really get their tournament mentality in check and who can really stay focused under pressure, knowing that people will be watching and knowing that there's thousands of dollars on the line.
Yeah, and I do want to shout out Terry Dalton, who was after Brandon got posted there from Playmore Corn Op. Just wanted to throw him in there as well. Another new player for our CSE. We've seen a couple new players, a lot of repeats, and I'm excited for it. It's a good selection so far. This one's all you, buddy. Where'd you go? Did I go away?
Well, how about this? We may have lost him in the background, so I'll just hop in from the background, buddy. As it looks like we may be suffering for some internet issues. I don't know why, because we're pretty good on speed, but that is what it is. We push the record button just in case. So how about this? Returning champ Aaron Ham to start us off in this one.
Yeah, and I'm wearing the Knox Amusement Western New York Shootout jersey. I got to meet him in person last weekend, and he is just as good as advertised, bud. To see him back in the field. And how about this? He's in the middle of the field, right? Last season's CSC Challenger Series winner, and he's in the middle of the field. He's actually in the bottom half of averages. How insane is that?
That is pretty nuts. Just following him, Corey Lamers, Brandon Neal, Andrew Galvan, as it looks like Nick is joining us once again, so I'll leave you guys to it.
The grandma's basement doesn't have the best internet, but does not want to stop me from watching some of these great names get listed off here.
Yeah, so you see Brandon Neal there, Omaha, Nebraska. Brandon Neal is going to be back in the CSC Challenger Series. First time since the first season that we did. So that'll be interesting to see him back in the field getting it going. I know a lot of people probably are looking at that name as a potential upset favorite potential. And Andrew Galvin, you mentioned it. Billy Meyer from multiple vendors. How about Jonathan Long from Knox Amusement? So a couple Knox Amusement guys in there, which you love to see. And Jonathan Long is a CDC card holder, or at least was previously. So he's going to be able to do some damage there in Division 2. Caleb Hunter from Star City. So we're getting our Texans going there. And then, of course, Larry Keith from Abraham Amusement, former fourth place finisher.
I believe so. I think he's actually made almost every season, if not every season, including the original iteration of the CSC as well.
Yeah, and great shot, great player from the Illinois area. It's good to see. Who stands out to you on this list, bud?
So far, I mean, I'm thinking the Brandons is where I'm really paying the most attention to. But there's so many good shots. It's really hard to pick a absolute runaway. I mean, of course, how can you not say Aaron Ham has a good shot, right? As someone that has done well in the CSC. But looking at these next set of players here, Francisco Alcala, Mario Serra, which we saw play against Chrissy Grimmel in the past.
Yep.
Jason Hawkinson, and then Josh Lacey, which are two players I'm not as familiar with. Then we have Tyler Holmes.
Yeah, keep going.
Chris Alexander over here. And then going on from Chris Alexander, you also have Tyler Hedman as well.
Taylor Hedman.
Taylor,
at least that's what it says on my list. It says it's different on the show.
From MG Leagues. And then John Bunnell, which we have seen before play out of empty pockets in the past.
Yeah, and if you're looking at this list, there's only, I think, 2 repeats, maybe 3. Only 2 of which that we've ever streamed before. So that'll be an interesting new list of players that we have here in the middle of Division 2. Well, top middle.
Yeah, and remember, Mario Serra and Chris Grimmel had a heck of a battle when they played. Yes. There was a lot of 9 marks, a lot of booms in that matchup there. So I definitely expect to see more of the same out of him. And honestly, he had the unfortunate pleasure of going against such a strong female shooter.
Yeah, and well, he didn't get it done, but he's going to get another chance here as we head now to the last 8 that are going to be invited to Division 2. And it's quite the list here at the top. You got Matt Bella from D&D Amusement making his debut. Darryl Cortez, we know very well. Division 2 previous champion, Darryl Cortez. He was actually in Division 1 last season. So drops back down to Division 2. Randy White, another former finalist, 3rd place finisher in Division 2 as well. Brett Hollanday is going to be scrappy, as can be from Midwest Coin Ops. Jeffrey Johnson getting in here, and that's quite a name to see back on the list, along with Ken Ripp. And then how about this? Jeff Burning kind of tops the rankings there. And another former champion of Division 2, Chris Watson, gets into the field. That's going to be an awesome one.
I'm going to be honest here, Sean. I have a clear favorite for this bracket this year, and it's not who you're expecting. It's Randy White.
Yeah?
Randy White, I watched him play this most recent triples for the monthly triples. Played against him 3 times in that triple elimination bracket, only coming out on top once. And he was playing like a force to be reckoned with and a class act as ever. I'm going to be honest, he was the most impressive that day. And looking at those lists of great shots, I'm going to put him as one of my favorites this season.
I can't knock you for that pick at all. From what we've seen recently from him, he has been phenomenal. We saw that in PPD Nationals that we streamed a month ago or 2 months ago, however long ago it was. But yeah, he's right up there as a great favorite choice. I'm right there with you.
Chiming in from the background real quick. I just wanted to give you 3 names for me.
Yeah.
One's going to be, of course, Jeffrey Johnson of Red's Novelty. He's a quality shot. I'm going to give you Brett Hollanday, who's been in our field a couple times, who's done well in the Booyah Cup qualifiers. And then last but not least, a guy that you kind of skipped over a little bit, Josh Lacey out of Wisconsin's a quality shot, gentlemen. He's going to be a great addition to this field. So just a little pick from Will there in the background for that one.
Yeah, I mean, as far as like my favorite big Randy White, if we're going to go for a dark horse pick, though, Mario Serra. I think he showed that he has the potential to do it. I don't think many people will have his backing, but a lot of people should be scared of him when they see his name.
Yeah, and I'm actually going to throw out Larry Keith. I just think from experience perspective, he's got the most in such a small window of average difference. I think that the timing and the experience is going to go a long way. So I like Larry Keith as kind of a dark horse favorite there.
But you said it. The division spread is so tight for season 2 this year. The tightest we've seen yet. I don't even know what to expect. As it's going to be who has the best starts each week. Not in total. Not a big spread like Division 1. It's each week you have to bring your A game because you know that the other person is going to.
Yeah. How about this? If you go from Mario Serra to Tyler Holmes, these are their averages: 4.364, 4.363, 4.36, 4.36. 0.04 separates those 4 players. That's how close this is. It's going to be awesome. I cannot wait.
Well, you guys ready for Division 1?
I don't know. Are you guys ready in the chat for Division 1?
Let's hear
Let's
it,
do
folks.
this.
Let's hear it. Let's move on to Division 1. What do you say? As I'm rearing and ready to go. We got some good names in the field. Let's hear them.
Yeah, this is going to be awesome. Nick, take it away.
Trying my best here. Hold on. I'm having some technical difficulties on my side here.
All right. I'm going to take it away. Brett Davis comes in there, Division 1. Scott Dunaway from Nebraska Technical Services. Jeff Meduna making his first debut here in Division 1. And Steve Hennings, always a force to be reckoned with as well, making his Division 1 debut. Well, no, his second running in Division 1. Matt Perdon making his first entrance. How about Eric Ludke? That guy is going to be darn tough. And hey, the legacy is here. Tyler Hensey. How about that, man? Making the field. His dad has been the runner-up twice.
That's going to be the guy I'm keeping the eye on.
He only is going to get better throughout the CSC, right? Like if he gets running, oh boy, that could be an interesting choice there. The young gun, and then of course John Edwards there at the end. I mean, it's from River City.
It's poised to be for Tyler Hensey. Tyler Hensey is a tough competitor. Watching him at the Plover tournaments play against Chris Lim and Jeremy Bryan, I mean, he played phenomenal. He played like he deserves to be considered among the top names, and he's so young as well. He's going to be a very interesting person to watch develop throughout the season.
He's been someone that we followed for the last year and a half. We heard Tyler was going to be pretty good, and we were not expecting him to be where he's at the age that he is. I believe he is no older than 20, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe 21 at this point in time, but that's, I mean, how cool is that? To have your dad making the finals the past few seasons, he's making a name for himself, then all of a sudden, son comes in and is trying to do the same thing. It's really cool, man. It's cool to have a father-son in this bracket for Division 1. He didn't even come in at Division 2.
Absolutely.
He's like,
he's going right for the top, right?
Hey, you know this first name next. Wait, go ahead, Will.
I was just about to say, Grandma's Basement isn't giving us any justice this evening, but
no.
Hey, that's quite all right. I think we changed our mics out on us, Nick. I don't know if you want to change that out real quick. We'll give you just a second in the background, but if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. No big deal. How about our next 8 here, Sean?
How about Tyler's just turned 18? I was way off.
That's insanity. He may not be allowed in one of the streaming bars. We don't know yet.
Oh boy. All right. Well, hey, Nick knows this name very well. Austin Braswell. We all know this name very well. Is going to be a dangerous force in this one. Kyle Liddicky. How about that? Coming in here. And Christian Lopez from CNN Darts.
Christian Lopez.
There you go. Hey, you got a lot of CNN players coming in here. Brian Dennis, former third place finisher in Division 1. And then going back to the Wisconsinites there with Todd Wigman, playing out of the Wisconsin area. Ram Gravera from Texas, the Houston area. Jamie Kopp back to Wisconsin. And then the laughing assassin, Jordan Meyer. That is quite an 8. What do you think?
I mean, it's so tough to look at this and be like, yeah, this guy's got this over this guy. I mean, Austin Braswell on his third or fourth year now of playing darts, so still relatively new to the game, but his average has gone up every single season that he's been a part of this show, and shows that he's going to be a force to be reckoned with. Kyle Liddicky is an interesting person here just because a previous finale winner over in the Tournament of Champions. So you know he has the ability to perform at high level under high pressure, but he's had a little bit of trouble playing well in the CSC, and I'm curious to see what we see out of him this season.
Yeah, I am too. I think that's a good man to pick one of those 8 to get furthest. I think would be really tough to do. You think?
I mean, it's like picking all racehorses that are poised to go first. So, out of that group, I think Christian Lopez is going to be in a position to make the most waves out of that eights, just because of the fact that I think he has that unknown factor to him.
Well, interesting. Well, look at this. As we start the next one, buddy, we got some favorites of ours coming right out the gate. Talk about them.
Yes. Scuba Steve Diker, one of our good friends, and of course, Dr. Handsome Johnny Lackey. Sean Cafflish, which shocked the world when he knocked down Brian Dennis in a first-round matchup. Nick Slepic, of course, one of Brandon Westover's fitness students. Gabe Steffen, Bob Anderson, Mike Carter, and Jesse Gore, another Florida player as well, as it seems like Florida's getting some good representation this year around. This list just keeps getting tougher and tougher as the averages keep going up here. Jesse Gore shocked us a lot when we saw him last time, Sean, if you recall.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Jesse Gore did fantastic. Made a lot of waves last season. Mike Carter, another guy who's going to be dangerous, sneaky dangerous type of player. How about Big Bob Anderson, Wisconsinite? Gabe Steffen, we saw he wore the pants of the week at TOC this past year. His profile picture still cracks me up. And then, of course, I love all the guys on the left side. We have a Wisconsinite in there, 2 Wisconsinites in there, Texan, and of course Florida. The main places that we get representation.
Absolutely. And some of these guys are really looking to make waves in this bracket. I'm curious to see Johnny Lackey there and what he's going to be doing, because he's always one of those guys that while he doesn't have the highest average in the mix, he always tends to do a deep run.
Well, let's look at the top 8 potential favorites here this season in Division 1 of the CSC Challenger Series. And nowhere better to start than Mike Scarborough, who has made quite the waves in PPD Nationals, as he's going to be a dangerous player. He might be one of my dark horse picks to get through this one. Donald Spencer II, I don't know a lot about him. I'm interested to ask you about him because it's West Coast Darters of Florida, so I'm hoping you know a little bit more than I do, making his debut. Kevin Schmitz, former Division II champion. Kenny Doyle, former Division I runner-up. Kenny Doyle,
correct,
of course, is Kenny Doyle, former champion of Division I, former runner-up as well. Sugar Shane Johnson just keeps getting better and better, and his averages and everything. Snuck into the field kind of last second. Excited to have him as a part of it. And the next person doesn't even need an introduction. The next 3 don't need an introduction, that's for sure. Mike Maloney, is great to see him back in action here. And of course, father of Tyler Hensey, Rick Hensey, who's going to be looking to finally complete, I think, the Division I championship this time around. He keeps getting closer and closer, but how about our 2-time defending champion soldier, Leonard Gates, there at the top of the list? What do you think, bud?
Leonard Gates said in one of my last interviews with him, I'm going to come back. I'm going to win like I did last year, like I did just now, and like I will in the future. He wants to do a 3-peat. And I'm curious to see if that's going to be the case. But there is a reason, Sean, I am wearing this jersey right here. The boom goes to Wisconsinite. Sugar Shane Johnson. 2023 is his year. I am putting him as the favorite to win.
Oh, wow. I love it. I absolutely love it. We got to meet him at TOC. He's an amazing person. Probably one of the nicest, down-to-earth people. He's easy to root for, so I can understand why you're doing it. I'm sorry if you guys can hear in the background. My little one is extremely sick, and she is screaming her head off out there in the living room. I feel really bad for my wife. Shout out, Megan. Love you. Thanks for holding the fort down for the next few minutes. But how about, it's such a great field. Of course, we would be remiss if we didn't mention the big name that is not on that list that people are talking about here, and that is Jules. He'll be in Europe the majority of the next couple months, so he regretfully could not partake in a weekly tournament situation. So we understand. We hope that he can play in the next one and that he gets qualified for that as well. He just snuck into the top 500 too to potentially get picked. And it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate, but we got replaced by Brian Dennis and
Brett Davis.
Yeah, and Brett Davis. So that's awesome. That's a good replacements there. You'd love to see it.
Well, let's also just take a moment to talk about some of the other things that have gone on in the dart world on some other streaming services, right? So, I mean, Leonard Gates took on Mike Maloney, and Mike Maloney came out on top. Rick Kinsey took on Sugar Shane, and Sugar Shane came out on top. I think these averages are going to be a little wonky on who's going to actually come out, because I think that there's a lot of new blood in this bracket, and I think there's a lot of people that are trying to establish themselves. You know, I mean, Mike Maloney has something to prove on the CSC because he wants his legacy to be changed from what it already is.
Well, he's already done so much in the dart world. He doesn't really need to worry about that aspect of it. But
don't give him credit.
He'd love to be back on top. You know, he'd love to be back on top, and I think that the game is improving drastically to where I think he's going to get a chance to weekly show what he can do again, and I'm excited to see it, man. I'm always excited. Race to 9 all cricket. It's so entertaining every single week, every single match. Division 2 is going to be awesome. 0.24 separates the averages from 1 to 32. You kidding me? Like, that's insane. And then, of course, the top division just is always going to have firepower. And, hey, theme of the season, right? Fire. It's going to be awesome.
Well, of course,
looks
he
like
did it to us one more time, buddy.
Well, you get a good look at that mustache. Oh, there he is.
Oh, there he is.
Hey, there we go. Having
Welcome
some
back.
troubles here. I apologize, everyone that's been patient with me, and Will's going to yell at me later. I know it's going to happen, but I'm doing the best with what I have here.
We've had a couple internet issues throughout the evening. I don't know if I encountered some dirty air here, but it seemed like it. So I went ahead and hit that record button for us to post later if we need to. Or what we'll do is we'll just run the brackets back with some music underneath so that all you folks at home can still view that. So, but anyway, I wanted to give you 3 picks for me for Division 1. How about this? Of course, you got to put Rick Kinsey in the mix. You got to put Mike Maloney in the mix. I'm going to do the sleeper pick of, I want to see how Tyler Hensey does because he could surprise people. So I'm going to go ahead and pick Tyler Hensey.
The 18-year-old. It's a bold one.
The young gun.
I love it.
Why not?
I love it too, and I think that if he gets rolling, if he wins that first week, I think the sky's the limit on how much he can improve, like average-wise and overall gameplay-wise, if he keeps rolling through that. But don't want to let you go without saying next CSC lockdown date after this one is July 15th. So if you didn't hear your name in Division 1 or Division 2 this season and are looking to get involved, you got to get your games in. You got until July 15th lockdown date to get in that top 500. If you got the game and you're in that top 500, you'll be selected. And then, Nick, when's TOC this year?
TOC 2023 is going to be taking place once again in Kansas City, Missouri, the 7th through the 11th of October. It's going to be right before you know it. Last year, you heard us say it. It feels so far away. We can't wait for it. And then all of a sudden, we blinked and we were in the middle of the booth. So a lot of fun last time. We're excited to be bringing you coverage once again.
Yeah, so CSC Challenger Series, the brackets get rolling. What's our official start date, Nick?
February 20th. It's going to be Monday, February 20th, and then Wednesday, the 22nd for Divisions 1 and 2, as we're going to be bringing weekly action twice a week. Will, Sean, and that other guy, Nick. It's going to be a lot of fun to be back in the mix once again. It feels like forever since the CSC took place, even though it was only since November. And I'm just ready. I'm ready for it. This is the season of fire. It's going to be booms, explosions. It's going to be a whole bonanza. It's going to be amazing.
Hey, boom goes the dynamite, right? It's going to be a good time. I cannot wait to get this season going. Hopefully you guys are as excited as we are. I know Will is. He was so excited that he didn't even dress up for this occasion. I mean, Nick's so excited he's in his grandma's basement streaming in Ohio, which, by the way, thanks for coming on the Siege last night. Enjoyed that.
Yeah, buddy.
Enjoyed every second of it, bud. But man, what else you got? We did it all, right?
I think so. I mean, like I said, Sugar Shane, he's my pick for Division 1 this year. I know it's a controversial pick, but I'm going with it because this is the only jersey that I had left that was clean. And then, of course, like I said, Tyler Hensey, I'm going to have to agree with Will. That is one guy I'm going to be keep my eye on. He can really do some waves here. Can he handle the pressure towards the finish line? That's what we're going to have to see out of him this year. And then for a real dark horse pick, I think Johnny Lackey has always done so well in these. He for longest time had 9-mark record, the unofficial one. So let's see what he has. Dr. Handsome going back to med school here.
There you go. Like I said, I love Rick getting it done this time around. If that doesn't happen, I like Mike Maloney making some waves in Division 1. I think Kenny Doyle is going to always be there. Depending on what bar he is playing out of. My dark horse is Mike Scarborough. I really, for some reason, that's screaming out at me to pick Mike. So there's where my dark horse pick is. And then, of course, Division 2 is wide open. Anything can happen. Mm-hmm. I'm looking forward to seeing the 18-year-old play. Man, what a crazy bracket that would be if the 18-year-old drew his pops in the first round. I don't know. I don't know how that would go.
And just remember, Sean, Mike Scarborough is the one that beat out Jules in singles on the last Nationals.
I know.
So we just have to keep that in mind here. I like the pick.
Yep. You go with the hot hand right now.
Make sure, everybody, February 20th, that's a Monday. February 22nd, that's a Wednesday. You know that we are going to be live 8 p.m. Central, bringing coverage of the CSC Challenger Series Season 4, the Fire season. Of course, I'm Nick Teixeira, joined by none other than Sean Green. I got the names right this time. And Will Stewart, the GOAT.
Yeah. Guys, thanks for joining us. Have a great rest of your evening. I'm going to go take care of some baby stuff. And we'll see you guys February 20th.